Hey guys, welcome to M&MM IELTS. This is Mohit here. Today this video is for people who want to start doing the IELTS preparation, who are planning to do the IELTS preparation, or maybe have just started and are at the very initial stage and you need some sort of a guidance as to what should be your pathway towards your success of your IELTS score. I want to share 5 tips or a pathway I would call like a GPS that would help you to reach to your destination at a very accurate level and in a very short period of time, provided if you follow the tips that I'm sharing, so that you don't waste a lot of time doing what you should not be doing and you focus only on doing what you should be doing. So let us see what those tips are and let us help you all. The first thing I want to share is be aware of what is your requirement. When I say this, that you have to be aware of your requirement, that means you need not only you need to know that what band are you chasing, but you also need to know that the purpose of your IELTS score. Why do you want to give IELTS? Is it for admission in some university or a college? Is it for permanent residency or citizenship of any country? What is the purpose? Because if it's immigration, there is a different requirement. If it's academic purpose, there is a different requirement. Mostly for immigration purposes, you will see that some general IELTS general is okay, and for academic purposes, you'll see that mostly IELTS general is not okay. You'll have to give IELTS academic. So because there are two different types of IELTS exam, you have to be very clear on if you want to prepare for IELTS academic or IELTS general. That's the first clarity you need to have. The second clarity you need to have is what scores are you chasing for? What band are you chasing for? Let's say you're chasing for, you want to give IELTS just because you want to get admission in some university. Mostly in universities, I've seen that around 6.5 band, they accept students for admission. Mostly, not all of them. Obviously, there are exceptions everywhere. So if your requirement is 6.5, you should aim for at least 7.5. Whatever your requirement is, always aim for an extra band. Never just prepare thinking I only need 6.5. If I get 6.5, I'm all good. I'll get my admission and I'll go to this place and I'll study. That's great. But always aim for an extra band, because when you work hard and when you work for that level, sometimes things might not fall in place. Maybe the exam question is a little tough. If you lose a few marks, you may end up still getting what you were chasing, which is 6.5 or maybe even 7. So if you're chasing for 7, aim for 8. If you're aiming for 8, aim for 9, I would say. If you're chasing for 8, aim for 9. Always an extra band. If somebody is asking you question, what is your band requirement? Never tell them 6.5 if you really need 6.5. Tell them 7.5. From day one, you have to program your brain with an extra band. Never tell yourself I need 6. No, you don't need 6, you need 7. One extra band. That has to be your thumb rule, and that will be a very good programming for yourself, for your brain, for your mind to work hard in that direction. So that's the first tip. The second tip I have for you is familiarize yourself with the test. Familiarizing means you should have let's say you've decided that okay, I want to give IELTS general for whatever reason. Now you should look at some practice test of IELTS general. You should look at the level of questions that are asked in IELTS general. Or you can look at the videos, YouTube videos of IELTS general, as in the mock test demonstration or practice test demonstration or practice test papers that are available. So many practice test papers are available for free online. Go through at least 5 question papers of listening, reading, writing, and also speaking, what topics are asked. First 2-3 days, just invest in seeing what questions are asked in exam for that exam. You have to feed that level of difficulty, the different types of questions that are asked in the exam to your brain, so that your brain now knows that okay, this is what I need to prepare, this is what my exam will look like, the pattern of the exam, the number of questions, how will your exam be like, the timing structure, how you have to manage the time, the requirement, I would say what expectations they have set for the band that you need. If you need 7, what expectations they have, what level of essay do you need to write. So first 2-3 days is really something I would say familiarize yourself completely with the test, the pattern, and then start your preparation. Before that, you should not start your preparation. The next tip that I have for you is preparation, but preparation with a timetable. There should always be a timetable for all 7 days of the week where you exactly know that what is the topic that you're going to prepare tomorrow. You should not wake up thinking my mood today is to do listening because it's pretty easy. Let's do listening today. That is not how your approach should be. You should have a concrete timetable for Monday to Sunday, the whole week, including how much time will you give to a particular section, to a particular question, and then follow it. Once you make the timetable and you follow it, have a habit of putting a tick. That will give you a sense of accomplishment that yes, I've accomplished this thing, let me put a tick on it. Then that also motivates you to do more and more. So see next week, so in your week 2 and 3, if you can accomplish more than what you have written on the paper or wherever you have made your timetable. Sticking to a timetable is very important. That will help you build that discipline, because if you don't practice a lot, look, the more you practice, the easier you'll feel in your exam, the less nervous, the less stressed you'll be on your exam day, because you know you've practiced so much that you have familiarized yourself with every different type of question that you're coming across, and you know how to solve it, you know the approach how to solve it, and the only way is practice, practice and practice. Different types of questions, test papers, do as many test papers as you can, because when you do test papers, you know you are solving exam questions, you're dealing with exam level difficulty, and that helps you to boost your confidence as well. The next step is practice and give practice tests. So these two are related with the previous tip that I shared, and that is have a timetable. In your timetable you should have like Monday, okay, Monday I will be doing listening and I'll practice listening for 3 hours and I'll give 1 practice test. Tuesday I'll be doing reading for 3 hours and I'll do 1 practice test. Doing a practice test at the end of your practice day is very important, because few hours you first practice and then give a practice test and look at your answers and see that whatever you practiced, are you able to implement it when you come across a practice test and questions. But try and give a practice test every single day. There's no need to give an entire IELTS exam every day, like as in the practice test every day. Just give practice test of that one section that you practiced on one day. If you've practiced let's say writing today, see if you can write at least, come across a practice test of writing section, write essays or something. And if you want someone to check your essay, if you want us to check your essay, or anyone that you know who can check your essay, let them know that you want them to check your essay, and they will help you, give you feedback. Because mostly listening and reading, it's very easy to take a feedback because you already have answers. But writing, you really need someone to look at your essay, to point out your grammatical errors, your spelling errors, your structure errors. So that is something you should take feedback for, and you can always consult us for essay feedbacks as well. Right now, practice, but practice with a timetable and give a practice test. It's a triangle, I would say. All these 3 are connected to each other, and you have to make sure that you follow all 3 of them. The last tip that I have for you is listening to podcasts, reading books and newspapers. Now this is a very, I would say, cliche advice, a very common advice that teachers give you or anybody would give, and at the same time a very underestimated advice. Honestly, today I feel that I'm thankful to someone who gave me this advice of reading books every day, even if it is 15 minutes. Nobody is expecting you to read 2-3 hours. We all know that we don't have that kind of time. We are working, we have family, everything is practical. But what about 15 minutes a day? Can we spare 15 minutes a day and read 2 pages of a book? Can we spare 5 minutes in the morning and read at least 1 article from the newspaper? And can we spare 5 to 10 minutes listening to any podcast, whether it is a TED talk or anything else, from speakers of different countries with different accents? You need to familiarize yourself with different accents, because you may have an accent because you are from X country, but you also need to listen to different accents, because in IELTS you never just get accents of the country you're giving IELTS exam in. You will get audios from people who are from different countries. So listening to podcasts maybe while you're driving or while you're traveling or you're doing any household chores will also be very helpful, and we will contribute on a large scale for your IELTS preparation. This is a very underestimated advice, but I would request all of you to follow this advice religiously, because when, let's say, if you're preparing for IELTS for 3 months, just imagine for 3 months if you listen to a podcast every day, for 3 months if you read one newspaper article every day, for 3 months if you read 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes book every day, at the end of 3 months, the vocabulary you had before 3 months will be different to the vocabulary you will have after 3 months. Your command over the language, the influence of the write-ups and the language you listen will be very heavy on you, because you will listen to good stuff. You will feel like speaking it. In your speaking exam, you can use those words and they will help you to talk confidently. The write-ups that you read will help you to write essays confidently. One of the best advice I would say someone gave me a long time ago, and now today I feel that this should be an advice to every single student who wants to give IELTS exam, and you should follow it. With that, I'll take your leave. I hope these tips will help you to clear your IELTS exam. It's like a roadmap that one should follow, as I said, to reach to your destination in the shortest span of time without wasting your time, energy, and most importantly, your money, because this is not a very cheap exam. With that, God bless all of you, practice hard, and bye for now.